Shuttle is an abduction horror movie. The movie is about these two girls, best friends, and they decide to go on this vacation. Well, on their way back from the vacation, one of them notices that luggage is missing, so they decide to take a shuttle to downtown the way to come back the next day to get the luggage. Well, this guy pulls up in this shuttle and he's like, look, whatever the other shuttle is offering you, I'll basically take you to where you have to go for half that price, which you know you can't beat a good deal like that, especially after going on vacation. Money's probably tight. So they decide to get in the shuttle. Well, a little backstory besides that is that there were these two dudes that were kind of flirting with the girls, and they see these girls get on this shuttle, so they decide to get on the shuttle with them, even though the driver is reluctant and he says, look, it's only a 3-passenger ride, you can't come along. They convince them, look, bring these guys with us, we'll pay a little more, blah blah blah. Well, everything's going good until basically the driver is like, look, we gotta take a detour, which is kind of just a red flag right there. Well, as they're going on this detour, this car kind of like plays chicken with this shuttle bus, and tire gets flat, which is all kind of a big sham anyways. Well, the two dudes get out, the driver gets out, and he asks the bigger one, the stronger one, to help. Something happens with him, basically injuring him, and now they have to rush to the hospital. Fingers are everywhere, it's a big thing. Well, right about there is where the plot twist happens. And basically the driver pulls out a gun and he's like, look, I'm basically kidnapping you for money. If you don't act crazy, I will basically just take my money from you and let you go. Well, unfortunately, these girls are Spitfires and they are just not down with this shit. And what was supposed to be just maybe a easy robbery turns out just to be these girls constantly trying to escape. And also a little bit of more information that I forgot was there was already this guy, this accountant on the shuttle when they picked the ladies up. And he's a coward. He's just completely useless. And the movie takes a couple turns. There are definitely plot twists. And the movie is just basically these girls trying to escape this shuttle, which is taking them to this location. And it's definitely has this kind of like a mystery vibe to it also. So I really don't want to get too much into what's happening in the plot. So basically in the review there will be tons and tons of spoilers. So let's get into it. My review to Shuttle. And first off, I'm going to say I can't believe this has to be like the only real movie I've seen where the cover art of the movie just spoils the ending. I can't believe they have the ending of the movie on the cover art. That is crazy. Because the whole time they're on the shuttle and you don't know where they're going, and I'm thinking like, well, they have to get somewhere where these girls like get naked, right? Because it's on the cover. That's just a massive, huge, unnecessary spoiler. Really don't know why they did that. But nonetheless, so honestly, this movie's very good. A lot of plot twists, and it has a crazy ending. So basically, the first plot twist is going to be that the driver purposely injures the strongest person so he doesn't have to deal with them. And the whole time you think the driver's good. Well, obviously it's called Shuttle, so you kind of knew already he was a bad guy. But the second plot twist is that accountant dude, who was just a straight up coward, was in on it too. He's basically with the driver, and that guy is a menace. Which leads me to basically bring up the acting. The acting in this movie was pretty good by everybody, but the driver and that accountant guy, their acting was really good. The accountant guy, he was playing a straight up coward, and then when you find out he's evil, his whole demeanor and personality changed to this villain. Very, very good acting. And also, they don't really explain it in the end, which I kind of wish they would have, but it's whatever. You could 100% tell that the driver throughout the whole movie didn't want to do what he was doing. Even after the accountant dies, he still has to do it. I wish they would have went more into that, like, what was it? Was maybe one of his family members kidnapped and he was being forced to do it? Because just there's tons of parts where he clearly doesn't want to do it, but he has to, and just the acting really portrayed that, so that was really, really good. Which leads into the next spoiler, which is basically they are bringing these girls to these people, these unknown people, for human trafficking, which was just crazy. So besides all that, with just the story being good and the acting being good, there were some decent practical effects, like when the dude lost his fingers, that wasn't bad. There was some crazy deaths in this movie that was pretty good. Also, when dude finally shows that he's the villain and stabs the guy that lost the fingers in his neck, that was crazy. It just how it was like silent, and it was just kind of nuts. It was really, really well done. Yeah, a lot of things about this movie were pretty good. Also, the whole movie is taking place in this shuttle bus, which is really good that they were even able to like make a story that was pretty good in a location like that, you know? So that's just good writing. Now, in the very, very end, big spoiler, I love when a movie doesn't have a happy ending. Not all the time. Sometimes I do want movies to have happy endings, but sometimes you should not have a happy ending. And this was one of those movies where after all the shenanigans and these girls putting up the fight of their life and trying their hardest to get away, they don't. And yeah, the one girl that survives, the only girl that survives, ends up basically getting put in the shipping container and is being shipped to Asia for human trafficking. And that was just a very dark ending. Very, very good. And yeah, like, production was good, acting was good, story was good. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie. So my recommendation for Shuttle, and honestly, I've been on a streak of recommended. Nothing too crazy, and I would definitely probably highly recommend this. This was a movie I didn't know existed, watched it, and was just very, very impressed with it. So I would definitely highly recommend this.